जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी।
ता कितिक दास
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी।
ता कितिक धाना धिन धाना धिना नते ता।
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपीजन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी। जय गिरिवरधरे जय गोपीजन वल्लभा। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यमुनातीरवनचारि यमुनातीरवनचारि यमुनाते। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Jai Radha Nila Madhav Sri Radhe, Jai Radha Nila Madhav Shri Radhe, Jai Radha Nila Madhav Shri Radhe. Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. हरि नाम संकीर्तन की, कलियुग पावन शशिनंदन गौर हरि के, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल। Okay. Doesn't look like moonbeams. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Okay. Is everyone able to see clearly? My face can be removed from the bottom if that's possible. I don't know if that works. It can be removed, okay. Kind of funny there. Between Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami, like a small monkey there. Okay. Hare Krishna. It's my honor and privilege to be here back again at the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radharani Madhava in this beautiful, wonderful temple in Seattle. I remember the last time I had the good fortune of coming here, it was during the month of Kartik. And senior Vaishnavas in this assembly, they instructed, keep coming like this. So we thought on the occasion of Gaura Purnima, just before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Avirbhav Tithi, which is less than 15 days now. I think on the 6th of March? 6th of March, that's correct. And today is already the 22nd of February. So we are building our celebration towards Gaura Purnima. And I'm expressing my gratitude to the management of the temple, all the leaders of the community, headed by Harivilas Maharaj, who, like the captain in the ship, is steering this community for so many decades. I had come so many times to Seattle in the past, but yesterday for the first time I had the chance to go to the farm. And I saw all the cows and the bulls headed by Narayan. It was certainly very auspicious. Actually, in the scriptures it is described that those who do Go Seva, those who serve the cows, those who are attached to the cows, they will get Krishna. Of this there is no doubt. So all of you are actually very fortunate, because there are very, very, very few communities in North America who give us the opportunity, the golden opportunity to serve cows and become dear to Krishna. And yesterday one devotee was telling me one pastime of Harivilas Maharaj, expressing his attachment to the cows. When he was asked about some place, he said, yes, but what about the cows? How can I leave my cows? So this is very, very auspicious. I feel very honored and privileged to be here, sandwiched between the deities, Vaishnavas, Srila Prabhupada, Maharaj, and the cows. So before I begin, I want to offer my obeisances to each one of you, all the Matajis, all the Prabhujis, all the Vaishnavas, all the Vaishnavis. Even those who are children, they may appear to be very young in age. You know, a shaligram, however small it is still a shaligram shila. And a tulsi leaf, however small she is, she's still tulsi. So to all the shaligram shila and tulsi like Vaishnavas here, who are potential candidates to become sadhus in the future, I offer my obeisances to each one of you. Please offer your best wishes, prayers, blessings. For the next 3 days, we will be discussing on a very beautiful topic, and I'll give you an introduction to that. But before that, please promise me to protect me with your blessings and prayers. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha. So His Grace Vrajraman Prabhu, when he invited me here to Seattle, he said, we should have some discussion about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because we are celebrating Gaur Purnima very soon. And I was thinking, there are so many pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that are discussed in Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrit and Chaitanya Mangal. We've all heard about Advaita Acharya calling Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu down. We've heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a child eating all the offerings of the Brahmana. We have heard pastimes of Mahaprabhu's Mahaprakash Leela. We have also heard pastimes about Jagai and Madhai. So I was thinking, in this discussion, we have only 3 sessions of 1.5 hours each. Should I cover pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or should I cover the philosophy, the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Then I thought, we'll take a route which covers both. Little bit of pastimes and little bit of philosophy. And I promise you, the philosophy will be less, the pastimes will be more. I am an expert in putting my audience to sleep, so I want to play the best card possible to keep all of you awake. So for the next 3 days, we will be discussing a topic. It is called Mahaprabhu's Merciful Moonbeams at Manikarnika. Can we all in one voice chant the title once again? So many M's there, huh? That's called Anupras in Sanskrit. It's called alliteration. What is this Manikarnika? In Chaitanya Charitamrit, in Madhya Leela, it is described that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had many conversations. He had conversations with Rupa Goswami, which is in the 19th chapter of Madhya Leela. He had conversations with Ramananda Rai, which is the 8th chapter of Madhya Leela. He has conversations with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, which is the 6th chapter of Madhya Leela. But this will be none of them. This will be the conversation with Srila Sanatana Goswami at Manikarnika Ghat in Varanasi on the banks of Ganga. So that Manikarnika is actually a bathing ghat in Varanasi, in Kashi, on the banks of Ganga. That is the place, as you see in the picture, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave shelter to Srila Sanatana Goswami. As we all can drink these forms through the cups of our eyes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with so much affection, he accepted Sanatana Goswami there. Actually, it is described, Srila Sanatana Goswami was called Sakhar Malik. What was he called? Sakhar Malik. So he was kind of initiated in the Muslim trend. In the Vaishnav trend, when we are initiated, we get spiritual names. So he was given a spiritual name in the Muslim clan by Nawab Hussain Shah. Srila Sanatana Goswami was so capable. He was made the chief minister by Nawab Hussain Shah. But however, Sanatana Goswami's heart was burning. He said, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is on the planet. Radha and Krishna have come in one form. And I get a chance to run and serve him. And what am I doing? I am busy serving Nawab Hussain Shah. So then he made a plan. Sanatana Goswami told Nawab, I am actually sick, so please give me chutti. Give me vacation, spring break. Spring break going on? Winter break. What month is it? Oh, midwinter. Okay. So it's February. Yeah. I live in this world, but I'm not of this world. So I don't know. So midwinter break. So Srila Sanatana Goswami asked for a break from Nawab Hussain Shah. He said, just give me a few days. I am really sick. So Nawab Hussain Shah said, what's your problem? He said, I am diseased. So Nawab Hussain Shah let him go. Sanatana Goswami's disease, in his own words, was Bhavaroga. It was not the disease of the head or the stomach or pain in the teeth. It was Bhavaroga, the disease of repeated birth and death. So of course, Nawab Hussain Shah didn't ask for details. Sanatana Goswami said, I am sick, I am ill, I am diseased. Please let me go. So Nawab Hussain Shah said, yes, you can take a few days break. Sanatana Goswami took break. And lo and behold, he was found reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Not alone, he was sitting with 100 more people, men of Nawab Hussain Shah. And Sanatana Goswami was sitting and teaching them, Janma Dyasya Yaton Vayaditara Taschartheshva Bhijnaswarat. And they were also chanting. So the sound vibration reached the Nawab. Nawab said, can you go and see how Sanatana is doing? Just like in Govardhan Leela, Indra tried to destroy and then he sent his ministers. Can you go and see how Vrindavan is doing? And then the ministers came and they looked under the hill and they came and told Indra, there's party going on under the hill. They were enjoying before in Vrindavan, but now they're celebrating even more under the hill. So that's what the ministers came and told Nawab Hussain Shah. Sanatan was happy before, but now he seems to be happier. And he's busy studying Srimad Bhagavatam with his men. Nawab said, so he cheated me. He said he's sick and I gave him a few days break. And look, he's sitting and reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Bring him here. Sanatan is brought to Nawab Hussain Shah, and when inquired, Sanatana Goswami says, actually, I am diseased in the heart. What to do? Bhavaroga, hridroga mashu apahinoti achirena dhira. The disease of my heart, I have turned away from Krishna. I want to perform bhakti. So Nawab Hussain Shah said, because you lied to me and I trust you so much, the punishment is you will be imprisoned. Sanatana Goswami is imprisoned. So is Rupa Goswami, but Rupa Goswami mysteriously he escapes. Sanatana Goswami, the older brother, is still imprisoned. What to do? Sanatana Goswami now speaks to the jailer. He tells him, look, you're a Muslim and I respect you. You please release me. I promise you, I'll become a big saint and I'll go to Makkah and Medina. I will go for Hajj, pilgrimage. And whatever credit I get, I will pass it on to you. So the jailer said, wait a minute. Before we talk about Makkah and Medina, if I release you, the Nawab will ask, where is Sanatan? Or where is Sakar Malik? What do I say? Sanatana Goswami said, just say, he went to attend nature's call and then he jumped into the Ganga with a rock around his neck and he drowned. Just cook up a story like that. Then the king will ask, what about the body? At that time you say you jumped into the Ganga, you swam everywhere and you didn't find the body. He's gone with the body. So the Nawab will let you go. The jailer said, this is too risky a plan. I can't do this. Sanatan put his hand into his pocket to remove gold coins. And he gave him 5 gold coins. He said, what about it? He said, I don't work for money. You know that. I am very loyal to Nawab Hussain Shah. Sanatan put his hand inside and put another 5 gold coins. And the jailer said, God is watching, how can I cheat? Sanatan removed 2 more and put. The jailer said, but you're becoming a saint, so I should let you go. Because if you become a saint, I will get the credit. Go. Sanatan ran out of the jail. And of course, I am skipping details just to come to the point that Sanatana Goswami, with arduous struggle, over days, he finally reached Varanasi. Because he got to know our beloved Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Varanasi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki? Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu was in Varanasi. And Sanatana Goswami, as soon as he entered Varanasi, he saw the Ganga. His hair was standing on end. And Ganga was flowing from his eyes in the form of tears. This little Nimai can settle down. He's busy dancing. Nachata Shri Hari Kirtaname. So, some housekeeping announcements. When the phone rings, the rule of our center here is, if the phone rings, then you sponsor a Srimad Bhagavatam set. That's one. And second, all our attentive, lovely, cute kids can sit next to their parents so that they can relish the Hari Katha together. So Srila Sanatana Goswami reached Varanasi. And as he reached Varanasi, it is described he had a very expensive blanket on him. And he had big beard and mustache, as you can see there. Sanatana Goswami had big beard and mustache. Actually, this picture that you see to the right, where Mahaprabhu is embracing Sanatana Goswami, is very, very dear to my heart. Because the first time I went to Sri Navadvip, Mayapur Dham, in 1996, I was 4 years old. We were given a guest house room. And outside the room, this was the painting. So, I don't know how it is now, but then outside every guest house room, there was a painting of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, some pastime. And this was the picture just outside our room. And I didn't know the story. So I asked but I just found it very beautiful. When the Lord embraces any of his devotees, it is certainly hair standing, right? It's really beautiful. Prahlad Maharaj sitting on the lap is intimate too. But when Mahaprabhu is embracing Sanatan with so much affection, or Krishna embracing Gopkumar, have you seen that picture of Brihad Bhagavatamrit? So hope-giving. We can meditate, when will that day be ours when we will also be embraced by the Lord like this? We will faint. So I asked one of the devotees there, what is the history behind this painting? And he told me about Sanatana Goswami and how Mahaprabhu embraced. So I thought of including that in this picture, in this presentation. So Sanatana Goswami came with a very expensive blanket that was given by Shrikanta, one of his relatives. And he had a lot of beard and mustache, and he came to the house of Chandra-shakha Acharya. Mahaprabhu first told him to give up the opulent blanket. Actually, Mahaprabhu didn't directly tell him. He just looked on the blanket. Sanatan was talking to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu just kept looking at the blanket. Sanatan felt something is wrong. And then he went and gave it to one man who was washing clothes on the banks of the Ganga, and he had a torn cloth. Sanatana Goswami went and told him, can you give me a torn blanket? This is an expensive quilt blanket. You can take this. So that man thought Sanatana Goswami was actually teasing him. He said, why do you make fun of me like this? Yes, I don't have an expensive blanket like you. I use old torn blanket. But please don't make fun of me. Sanatan said, no, I'm not making fun. Please, you take my blanket and you give me your blanket. So that man exchanged. And then Sanatana Goswami shaved his beard and mustache and came with his torn blanket in front of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu looked with eyes like Jagannath. And he looked at Sanatana Goswami and he said, Sanatan, that was the last trace of material attachment in your life and you have given it up. Hari Bol! Said Sanatan, this is amazing. Then Sanatana Goswami went even one step higher. He came with only two cloth. He came with a bahirvas. Bahirvas means the cloth which is worn above the kopin, below the waist. And a uttariya. Have you seen sannyasis or babajis have like a uttariya cloth around their neck? That's like a begging cloth. So Sanatana Goswami came completely shaven. And he had a bahirvas and a uttariya. And he came like this in front of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu sat with Sanatana Goswami. And it is described, dear devotees, for 2 months at Manikarnika Ghat. 2 months. How many months? 2 months. Mahaprabhu discussed Krishna Katha with Sanatana Goswami. In this section, Kaviraj Goswami describes the discussions went from sunrise to sunset. Kaviraj Goswami, he gives a summary study of this conversation over 5 chapters. For those who are keeping notes, chapter 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24. 5 chapters of Madhya Leela Chaitanya Charitamrit encompass the conversation of Mahaprabhu with Sanatana Goswami. Now you please tell me, when someone gives a 1-hour class, how many pages does the transcript run into? Several pages? Multiple pages? And that's just a 1-hour class. Imagine Mahaprabhu speaking with Sanatana Goswami for 2 months. There'll be books published. But what has Kaviraj Goswami done? He has just given a summary study. Brief overview. Over 5 chapters. And this discussion, dear devotees, is so amazing that I am reminded of this verse that comes in the Shiva Mahimna Stotram. And I would like to chant this verse in call and response, and then we will continue from there. Asita giri samam syat Kajjalam sindhu patre Surataru varashakha Lekhani patramurvi Likhati yadi grihitva Sharada sarvakalam Tadapitava gunanam Ishaparam nayati. Can we all chant it together now? Chalo, let's go. Asita giri samam syat Kajjalam sindhu patre Surataru varashakha Lekhani patramurvi Likhati yadi grihitva Sharada sarvakalam Tadapi tava gunanam isha param nayati. What does this mean? How much can Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami speak? Oh, they can speak forever. They can speak forever. Because these 5 chapters of Madhya Lila describe Krishna. And how limited is Krishna? Unlimited. That is the answer. Thank you, Murli. Murli means the flute. Only the flute knows how unlimited the Lord is. So what does this verse mean? Asita giri samam syat. Let's say there is a mountain of ink. There is a mountain of ink. Asita means black. Giri samam syat. If the black ink, dark ink is giri samam, it is like the mountain. And kajjalam sindhu patre. What is the ink bottle? Sindhu, ocean. So how much ink do we have? How much ink do we have? As much as the mountain. Let's repeat this. How much ink? As much as the mountain. What is the ink pot? The ocean. So the ocean is unlimited, the mountain is humongous. So how much ink do we have? Unlimited. And what is the pen? The fountain pen or the ink pen that uses this ink? Sura Taru Vara Shakha. Sura means demigods and Taru means tree and Vara means first class and Shakha means branch. First class branch made out of the wish fulfilling desire tree of heaven is used to make the pen. What is the pen made up of? It's made out of the branches of the wish fulfilling trees of heaven. How much ink do we have? As the mountain. What is the ink pot? Ocean. And what is the paper that we have? Patram Urvi. Urvi means earth. As much surface that Mother Earth can offer, that is the paper. So our lekhani, our pen is made out of the desire trees of heaven. The paper is the surface of earth. The mountain represents the ink. And what does the ocean represent? The ink pot. 4 ingredients. I'm going to do a call response again. How much ink do we have? What is the ink pot? Where is the pen made up of? Branches of the wish fulfilling trees of heaven. And how much paper do we have? As much as the surface of Mother Earth. So what are we trying to say? The pen is first class. The paper is unlimited. The ink is unlimited. Likhati yadi grihitva Sharada Sarvakalam. Sharada is the name for Saraswati Devi. Who is the writer? Saraswati. Saraswati is using the ink from the ocean or the mountains, filled in the pen of heaven, used on the surface of earth. And how much time does she have? Sarvakalam. All times. Likhati yadi grihitva Sharada Sarvakalam tadapi tava gunanam ishaparam nayati. Still, my dear Krishna, your qualities cannot be described completely. Did everybody understand? Who is writing? How long? Sarvakalam. How much paper? As much as the surface of Mother Earth. Where is the pen made up of? Branches of the wish fulfilling desire tree. How much ink do we have? Unlimited, as much as the mountain. And what is the ink pot? And finally, the person who's writing is Saraswati. Even someone with unlimited ability and unlimited resources, tadapi tava gunanam, O Krishna, your qualities cannot be completely described. Now this is in Sanskrit, but Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami puts this in Bengali. He says, let's chant. Koti juga paryanta लिखाए गणेश प्रभुर एक लीला न पाए बेशेष. Ganesh will not find Shesh. Shesh means conclusion. Koti juga paryanta likhaye Ganesh. If Ganesh, Lord Ganesha writes for millions and millions of yugas, tadapi prabhur ek lila na pai beshesh. Still he will not be able to complete from all angles even description of one pastime. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while describing about Krishna to Sanatana Goswami, he says, how much can I speak? What ability do I have? But I'll still try to speak. And Kaviraj Goswami summarizes that over 5 chapters. And in 3 days, we don't have time to do 5 chapters. So I am just going to take 1 chapter out of those 5 chapters. And that 1 chapter also, we are going to see thematical overview. What do you see here? Some are saying tree, some are saying moon, some are saying tree covering the moon, some great souls are saying moon covering the tree, and some other Mahajans are saying slide. In Sanskrit, this is called as Chandra-shakha Nyaya. What is it called? Chandra means moon and Shakha means branch. So there is a story. One time a child asked the mother, "Oh mother, where is the moon?" And the mother said, "Look there, there is the moon." And the child said, "Where is the moon?" He couldn't figure out where the moon is, little kid. So the mother said, "Do you see the mountain?" The child said, "Yes." "On top of that, do you see that tall tree?" The child said, "Yes." "Do you see those branches?" The child said, "Yes." Mother said, "Do you see between those branches there is a moon?" The child said, "Oh, now I can see it." When directly the moon was not easily visible for the child, the mother showed the branch, the shakha, and said, "Now look between the branches, you will see the moon." Is the moon actually between the branches? But it is a way of expression. Kaviraj Goswami uses this in this section, and he says, Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami that I cannot actually describe the moon, who is Krishna, but I am just going to use Chandra-shakha Nyaya. I will touch a few things around it. I will show you a few branches and then you can estimate yourself. Chaitanya Charitamrita uses the word Digdarshan. Please repeat. Dik means direction and darshana means to show. So Mahaprabhu says, I cannot completely describe Krishna, but I will just show you the direction of that description. And you can understand it yourself. Mahaprabhu starts off by telling Sanatana Goswami something very fascinating. Now, in the picture you see, this is Krishna talking to Uddhava. Those who have done the course with Gaurang Darshan Prabhu know this picture very well. Gaurang Darshan Prabhu also uses this picture in that section. So Uddhava, if you see, looks like Krishna, except for the opulences. When Krishna was leaving this world and he was departing, Uddhava said, "My Lord, I want to leave this world with you. I don't want to see the world when you're not here. The day you depart," who's speaking to whom? Uddhava speaking to Krishna. Uddhava is telling Krishna, "Oh Krishna, the day you depart, I want to come with you." Krishna said, "No. Instead, oh Uddhava, you stay here, go to Badrika Ashram and preach about me to the sadhus, the sages. They want to hear Krishna Katha. So what's the point in me going to Golok and you coming with me to Golok? Instead, you stay here, travel all over the place and speak Krishna Katha." Do we all remember an instance like this in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where someone wanted to give up their body? And instead he was advised, don't give up your body, be alive and speak Gaur Katha. Raghunath Das Goswami. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu departed, he desired to go to Govardhan and jump from there and give up his body. But Sanatana Goswami held his hand. He said, "I also one day decided to give up my body under the cart wheel of Rath Yatra. But Mahaprabhu held my hand and saved me. So today you want to give up your body? I will hold your hand." Raghunath Das Goswami said, "But what will I do being alive?" Sanatana Goswami was the one who said, "Mahaprabhu gave you a Govardhan Shila, so you should live at Govardhan. But he gave you the Govardhan with a Gunjamala, and the Gunjamala represents Radharani. So you should live at Govardhan in the place of Radharani, that is Radhakund." Raghunath Das Goswami said, "But what will I do at Radhakund?" Sanatana Goswami said, "Stay there and speak Gaur Katha." Raghunath Das Goswami sat at Radhakund, and every evening for 3 hours he spoke Gaur Katha. And in that assembly, our Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami sat and took notes, and that's the Chaitanya Charitamrita that we have. So similarly in Krishna Leela, Uddhava also wanted to give up his body and go back to Goloka with Krishna. But Krishna said, no, you be here, go to Badrikashram and preach to the sages. But he said, then after that I will come. So Uddhava said, then Krishna said, no, then you should go to Vrindavan. And there on the bank in Vidura. And there to Vidura you speak about me. And that's exactly what happened. After Krishna departed, it is described, Uddhava started traveling. And as he traveled and went to Badrikashram, spoke to the sages, now as Krishna had foretold, he found Vidura there. And when Uddhava and Vidura met, now Vidura is a very, very, very advanced Vaishnava, very advanced. You can see in the pages of the Mahabharata, his speech was controlled, pleasing, metaphorical, filled with so many examples and stories. Every word that he spoke, Chitram Charu Padam Shlagnyam, Bhagavatam describes. His words were Chitram, very attractive, and Charu, very pleasing, and it was grave, Gudham, Arthavat, it was always with meanings, and it was for the benefit of everyone. That was Vidura. And when Uddhava started speaking to him, both held each other's hands and they started crying, embracing each other. And that's when this verse was chanted in the Bhagavatam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while speaking to Sanatana Goswami, he looked at Sanatan and he said, our meeting here is like Uddhava's meeting to Vidura. They are also two devotees and we are also two devotees. Mahaprabhu embraced Sanatan in the same mood as Uddhava embraced Vidura. And that was the banks of Yamuna, and this was the banks of Ganga at Manikarnika Ghat. And Mahaprabhu holding the hands of Sanatan, he said, I will chant the same verse that Vidura and Uddhava discussed. And in this mood, in the section of Sanatana Goswami Shiksha, instructions to Sanatana Goswami, in the 21st chapter of Madhya Leela, text 33, this verse is found. Actually, in Srimad Bhagavatam, you can see this in 3:2:21. Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, Text 21. But this is the reference for the discussion between Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami. So let's chant this. Swayam tvasamyatishayastradhisha Swayam tvasamyatishayastradhisha Swarajya Lakshmyapta Samasta Kama Swarajya Lakshmyapta Samasta Kama Balim Haradbhishchiralokapale Balim Haradbhishchiralokapale Kirita Kotyedita Padapitha Kirita Kotyedita Padapitha. Together everyone. Swayam tvasamyatishayastradhisha Swarajya Lakshmyapta Samastakam Balim Haradbish Chiralokapale Kirita Kotyedita Padapita. Mahaprabhu is describing Krishna now. This is quite fascinating. Who is speaking? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Radharani. Who is listening? Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami is a maidservant of Radharani. So think about it. the banks of Ganga, Radharani is speaking to her dear maidservant on the glories of Krishna. Who better can speak about Krishna than Srimati Radharani? For any katha to manifest, the speaker and the listener both have to be attentive. One time, one very exalted Vaishnav, he went into one assembly and he spoke for about 7-8 minutes and then he stopped. And he said, okay, Hari Bol, and then he just left. So the servant asked, Maharaj, what happened? He said, Hari Katha won't come out because the audience are not attentive. And this same sadhu, when he would speak Bhagavatam, he would speak for 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours, from 8 o'clock in the morning to 12:30 in the afternoon. The curtains would close for afternoon break. That's when his Bhagavatam class would end. He was so used to speaking Krishna Katha. But that same sadhu, when he went into an assembly where people were not very attentive, he spoke for not more than 12 minutes, 7 or 12 minutes. And he said, Krishna Katha won't come up because the audience is not ready. So when the audience is ready and the speaker is first class, the Katha is amazing. You can see, Krishna was ready to speak, but Arjuna was not ready to listen. So no Bhagavad Gita sprung in the mouth of the Lord. First chapter you can see Krishna's Maunam Vidvana Bhushanam, Maunam Sarvartha Sadhanam. He's quiet, he's not speaking. Only when Arjuna gets on his knees and he starts to listen, then Klaibhyam Mamsma Gama Partha, Krishna starts speaking. Similarly, you can see Suta Goswami is listening, Shukadev Goswami is speaking. Parikshit Maharaj is listening, Shukadev Goswami is speaking. Vyasadev, he wasn't listening. So he gave 4 Vedas which we respect. But when he listened, what came after that is considered to be the king of all scriptures from Narada Muni. Similarly, you can see in this section also, the speaker is first class, that is Radharani herself as Mahaprabhu. And the listener is first class, the maidservant of Radharani as Sanatana Goswami. And what is the katha about? Shri Krishna. So let's see the words here. All of you can attentively listen. This is Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita at the same time. Same class. So Mahaprabhu is saying, Swayam tu asamya. The word asamya means not equaled. Mahaprabhu is saying there's no one equal to Krishna. And atishaya. Atishaya means greater. Swayam tu asamya atishaya. There's no one equal or no one higher than Krishna. Do we know any verse in the Shastra which says that no one equals Krishna? Anyone, please raise your hand. Anyone in the Matajis? Is there any verse in the Shastra that we are aware of where it says that there's no one equal to Krishna? We are all devotees of Krishna. I am playing the devil's advocate. You give me one verse, I will become a Hare Krishna devotee. Chalo, the ball is in your court. Give me one verse which says that Krishna is the supreme. Matta parataram nanyat. Prabhuji has hit the nail on the head. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Matta parataram na anyat. There is no one equal or greater than me, which is the absolute truth. So, swayam tu asamya atishayas. Krishna is unequaled. There's no one equal and no one greater. Then Mahaprabhu says, Triyadhishaha. What does Triyadhishaha mean? 3 means 3. In Sanskrit, 3 means the number 3. And Adhisha means king. Krishna is the lord of 3s. Tell me things which are in 3s that Krishna is the lord of. Krishna is the lord of 1, 2, 3. What are those 3s? 3 worlds, upper, middle and lower. Very nice. Give me more. Krishna is the lord of 3s. 3 gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. So 3 plus adhisha, triyadhisha. Krishna is the lord of upper, middle, lower. Krishna is the lord of sattva, rajas, tamas. Krishna is the lord of senses. 3 senses? Krishna is, the features are Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Yes. 3 bends. Those are the features in the Lord's form. But what is, He is the Lord of 3s. Yes, Mataji. Very nice. Did we all hear that? Krishna is the Lord of past, present and future. Time working in 3 dimensions. Very nice. What else? Krishna is the Lord of threes. Go for it. Churn the ocean of Shastric wisdom. Threefold calamities. He is the Lord of Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik. Very nice, Shrestha. Your answer was really Shrestha. Three potencies. And marginal. So Prabhuji is saying the Lord, Krishna is the Lord of threes. Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti and Tatastha Shakti. Internal energy, external energy and marginal energy. Vrajraman Prabhu said something. Garvodakshai Vishnu. Krishna is the Lord of the three Vishnus. Karana Udakashai Vishnu, Garva Udakashai Vishnu, Kshira Udakashai Vishnu. What else? Oh, very nice. Wow. Jai. Very nice. Jai. Krishna is the Lord of creation, maintenance and destruction. Now please tell me, who is the Guna avatar in connection to creation, maintenance and destruction? Yes. Fantastic. One name of Krishna is Keshava. What is it? Keshava. Ka means Brahma, Isha means Shiva, and Va means Vishnu. And he who is the Lord of all these three Guna avatars, Ka plus Isha plus Va, is Keshava, Krishna. So he is the Lord of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, creation, maintenance and destruction. Very nice. What else? You know, all these are in the purport of the Triadisha. Lord of the threes. Mahaprabhu is so sweet. He's just saying three Adisha. And Sanatana Goswami is not asking what are those threes. He knows. Such a scholar. Mahaprabhu says something in this regard. He says something fascinating. He tells Sanatana Goswami, "Oh Sanatan, Krishna is so great." He says Krishna is so great that he is the Lord. The first meaning is called Samanya Artha. What is it called? General meaning. Sanatana Goswami ko Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking that the Samanya Artha, the general meaning of Triyadisha is that Krishna is the Lord of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. This is the basic understanding. Then when Sanatana Goswami said, I got it. Mahaprabhu said, oh, Iha Bahya. This is external. Now I will tell you the Madhyama Artha. What is the next? What is the first? Samanya Artha. Samanya Artha means general meaning. Madhyama Artha is even higher meaning. So he says now, what is the Madhyama Artha? He says Krishna is the Lord of the three Vishnus. And he quotes, Mahaprabhu quotes, Yasyaika nishvasita kala mathavalambhya jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanatha Vishnur mahansa iha yasya kala vishesho govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. And then when Sanatana Goswami said, oh, I got it. Triyadisha has two meanings. Samanya Artha and Madhyama Artha. Then Mahaprabhu said, Iha Bahya, this is external. The highest meaning is Guda Artha. What is the Guda Artha? He says, Krishna is the Lord of the three worlds. This world, which is called Devi Dham. What is it called? The abode of Lord Shiva, which is called Mahesh Dham. What is it called? And the abode of Vishnu, Vaikuntha, which is called Haridham. What is it called? So he is the Lord of Goloka, which is beyond this world, the world of Lord Shiva, and the world of Lord Vishnu. So Sanatana Goswami is listening to this. And then Mahaprabhu says, can I tell you how fascinating Krishna is, O Sanatan? Sanatana Goswami says, my Lord, please tell me how fascinating the Lord is. So Mahaprabhu says, Kirita Koti Rita Padha Pitha. He says, forget about the lotus feet of Krishna. I'm not even talking about the lotus feet. I'm not even talking about the footwear of the lotus feet. O Sanatan, says Mahaprabhu, the place where Krishna keeps his footwear, not his lotus feet, the place where he keeps his chappal, his footwear, Kirita Koti Rita Pada Pitaha, constantly there is traffic there. Mahaprabhu calls it Pitha, Pada Pitha, the footstool, the stool on which Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is keeping his chappal or shoes. Why is there so much traffic? Mahaprabhu explains to Sanatana Goswami, so many demigods are coming. They are constantly coming. And they can't meet Krishna all the time in Dwarka. So what they do? they offer their obeisances. And when they are offering their obeisances, their helmets is clanging against the foot table. And there's a clanging sound. There's cacophony. You know what cacophony means? It means there's a disharmony in the sounds. And the servants of Krishna in Dwarka have to come out and say, shh, be peaceful. The demigods are saying, we can't come inside, so we're just offering obeisances. The servants say, peaceful. All of your helmets are clanging on that same stool. And there's like an explosive sound. Calm down. Tomorrow when you come, you can offer obeisances. In the Venkateshwara Suprabhatam also it is described. Shri Swami Pushkarnikaplava Nirmalangaha Shreyorthino Haravirinchi Sanandanadhyaha Dware Vasanna Varavetra Hatottamanga Shri Venkateshwara Venkateshwara Chalapate Tava Suprabhatam. Good morning to you. Tava Suprabhatam. He says, you are so great, O Vishnu, O Venkateshwara, that demigods bathe in the Pushkarani river, and early in the morning with wet clothes they are standing in the line for darshan. So it's not only here in Tirumala, Tirupati. This is the practice for there. Even there is queue. So here sometimes we feel that we're standing for 8 hours, 10 hours. I'm not talking about VIPs and NRI, break darshan and all of that. I'm talking about people like me. We have to stand for a long time. And then when we go there, Venkateshwara, Venkataharana, Sankataharana, Govinda, Govinda. Hardly 3-4 seconds and then Jaragandi karke nikal dete bahar. That's it. So when you ask, why does the TTD do this? Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, why are they having such arrangement? Because this is preparation. This is preparation for the actual game. There even demigods are standing. And they stand in line with wet clothes. This is exactly what the word says. Shri Swami Pushkarani Kaplava Nirmalangaha. Becoming completely bathed in the Shri Swami Pushkarani. Shreyo, with so much devotion. Hara, Virinchi, Sanandanadhyaha. Lord Shiva, Brahma, the 4 Kumaras, everyone stand in line with wet clothes. And not everyone gets in. So they're all trying to peep into the door of the Supreme Lord. And Jay and Vijay are sitting outside with dandas. Varavetra. Vetra means stick. Varavetra means thick stick. Big one. Varavetra, first class. So with poetry and glorification, some sarcasm is also there. Dware, at the doorstep, the servants of Venkateshwara, what are they doing? Varavetra, they are holding a big stick. What do they do with that stick? Dware Vasanna Varavetra Hata. They hit. Now the question is, where do they hit? Dware Vasanna Varavetra Hata Uttama Anga. That which is considered to be the topmost part of the body, which means head. So every head gets 1 hit. Brahma has 4. Ravana has 10. So he comes as a sadhu. Even when he has to kidnap Mother Sita, no taking chance. Varavetra Hatottamanga. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you can see in the previous verse, Kirita Koti Rita Pada Pitaha. Oh Sanatan, Krishna is so great, he's describing. Mahaprabhu is saying this, dear devotees. Please be very confident and please feel a lot of satisfaction when you serve Krishna. When you chant Krishna's names, when you worship Krishna, don't have any doubt whether or not he is the source of Vishnu's. Is he actually God? Or was he just a flute player in Vrindavan? Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami on the banks of the Ganga is repeating what Uddhava spoke to Vidura. And Shukdev Goswami has documented in the Bhagavatam. Kirita Koti Ritapada Pita. This is a term to be memorized. Who is bowing down? Chira Lokapalaihi, the protectors of the cosmic creation. All the Indras, all the Brahmas, they're all coming with all their messengers and all their servants. And they are bowing down at the lotus feet of Sri Hari. Mahaprabhu says, not at the lotus feet. Oh, at the chappal. Then he says, not at the chappal. At the place where the slipper is kept. There, the demigods offer obeisances and their helmets are clanging on the floor. And that is how great Krishna is. At this point, this very interesting and famous pastime comes into being. Sanatana Goswami wants to know, why is it, my Lord, that you use this term Swarajya Lakshmyapta Samastakama, which means Krishna can perform whatever he wants through his energies. That is what it means. So when Sanatana Goswami is asking for clarification, oh Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, can you give me examples where Krishna uses his own energies? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives two examples, two stories in this regard. This is the very famous story of multiple Brahmas that we learned probably in the first week of ISKCON itself. Many preachers in the Discover Yourself or Journey of Self-Discovery course itself they teach. And innocent people come, unko pata bhi nahi hai who is God. They come for that course, first timers. They come and say, is Krishna God or is Brahma God? And the preacher says, which Brahma? And that's his introduction to ISKCON. So then he says, what do you mean, which Brahma? The preacher says, this is the same question even Brahma asked. Which, what do you mean, which Brahma? And then they say this very famous story from the Puranas. Mahaprabhu explained this story to Sanatana Goswami. He said one time when Krishna was in Dwarka, Brahma wanted to meet Krishna. Brahma knocked the door. At that time, the servant came. You know, have you seen some government officers in India? They want to just show their face but not do the work. So they'll open and say, Kya hua? You know, they will act as if we ran away with their passport. What do you want? And paper. Lunch time. Lunch time to 3 baje. Abhi time kitna hua? Abhi to 1 o'clock. Abhi lunch time shuru ho gaya. You know, they'll just open like that. So the servant just opened in Dwarka. So what do you want? Brahma said, I came to have darshan of Krishna. Okay. Who are you? Said, I am Brahma. I am the president of the universe. So the servant said, okay, just 1 minute. Closed the door, went inside. Krishna is sitting in the courtroom of Dwarka. Brahma has come. Krishna said, Acha. Go and ask him which Brahma. So the servant said, okay, my lord, I will ask. He came out, said, our master is asking which Brahma. Brahma is confused. He's already a quad-core processor. 4 heads. 4 times faster. He said, I can't understand this question. What do you mean which Brahma? So, okay, anyway, 4-headed Brahma. The father of the 4 Kumaras. The one from whom the 4 Vedas manifest. The one who's born from the navel of Mahavishnu. You can give all this. This is my introduction to be read before the class. So the servant went and he told Krishna. Krishna smiled. He said, okay, 4-headed Brahma, let him in. Brahma came in, offered his obeisances. Krishna, smiling, asked Brahma, so how's everything going in your universe? Brahma said, my lord, by your mercy, everything is going good. You come time and again and you destroy all the demons, so we are safe. Krishna said, good. How did you come here? Brahma said, my lord, before I speak about that, I just wanted to ask a question. When I was standing outside, you told the servant to ask which Brahma. Are there other Brahmas also? Just in case. Krishna listened to this question and hung his head. And he was smiling. And he started meditating. And as soon as Krishna meditated, 5-headed Brahma came. 6-headed Brahma, 8-headed Brahma, 16-headed Brahma, 32-headed Brahma, 64-headed Brahma, 128-headed Brahma, 256-headed Brahma, 512, 1 kilobyte, 1 megabyte, 1 gigabyte, 1 terabyte, 4 terabyte, hard disk. So many million heads. Million-headed Brahma. You can see in this picture. So many heads Brahmaji is having. 4-headed Brahma was also standing there. Now it's quite interesting, dear devotees. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was telling this story to Sanatana Goswami in his heart had this question: could the four-headed Brahma see everyone? And could all of them see the four-headed Brahma? Mahaprabhu said the four-headed Brahma could see everybody. But all of those Brahmas could only see themselves. It was like the gopis in the Rasa Leela. They saw Krishna only with themselves. So each Brahma saw themselves with Krishna, but only the four-headed could see all of them on purpose. Huh? And this four-headed Brahma is looking around and he was feeling like a rabbit amidst the herd of mighty elephants. Looking around. Have you seen the feeling that one has when they enter a football stadium? Thousands and thousands of people and you're just one among them and there's so much happening. Imagine that whole stadium is filled with Brahmas. And four-headed Brahma is thinking, only four? Till now I thought four, but now only four. And he shrunk like this. And he was hiding. And then they all came. And Krishna asked everyone, how are your universes going? And all of them in one voice they said, my Lord, by your mercy our universe is doing good. You appear in our universe millennium after millennium and you destroy the demons and protect the devotees. By your mercy we are protected. And this four-headed Brahma is thinking, oh, there are other universes as well. And there are other Brahmas. And this one Krishna is taking care of everyone. Oh, I am such a small ant. And then in a spur of a moment, everyone disappeared. And Brahmaji is looking at Krishna. And Krishna looks at Brahma. What do you have to say? Brahma said, my Lord, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I bow down to you. You are the Supreme Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this story to Sanatana Goswami and said, oh Sanatan, this is the power of Krishna in Dwarka. I'm not even talking about Krishna's power in Vrindavan. This is the power of Krishna in Dwarka, that millions and millions of Brahmas work for him. And this is why Sanatana, I said, Swarajya Lakshmyapta Samasta Kama. All his desires are fulfilled by his own energies. Just by meditating, all the Brahmas have come. So Sanatana Goswami said, so is there a reference like this in Vrindavan as well? And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, oh, what Brahma experienced in Vrindavan is a couple of notches higher. This is the very famous Brahma Vimohan Leela. That is correct. Brahma Vimohan Leela. This is the very famous pastime where even Lord Brahma gets bewildered. You see, this is the 13th chapter in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Dasham Skand, 10th canto, 13th chapter. Sripad Madhvacharya comments to every chapter in Srimad Bhagavatam except this chapter. Because Sripad Madhvacharya considers Brahma to be the Adi Guru in the same sampradaya. And he cannot write a commentary about how the Acharya in his sampradaya went wrong. So he just skips the commentary in that chapter. Sripad Madhvacharya ki? Just to stay safe. We are in the same sampradaya. So Brahmaji, when he comes to Vrindavan, we all know this story, but because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says it, we are going to compare this story with Brahma's bewilderment or Vimohan in Dwarka. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talks about these two stories, parallel stories. Brahma's bewilderment in Dwarka, Brahma's bewilderment in Vrindavan. We all know both these stories, right? Everybody knows this story as well? Okay, I think some are not confident. So in 2 minutes, I'll tell you the story. Then you tell me what the difference is. Krishna's playing with his calves and cowherd boys. And Brahmaji comes and he sees Krishna eating with his left hand. He thinks, Gargacharya said, Shukla Rakta Tatha Pita Idanim Krishna Tangataha, that this is Bhagavan. And Bhagavan in Vaikunta, how does he eat? Oh, even the deity. How do in the deity worship manual you can see? You can feed him on his left hand. That is Seva Aparad. There is proper asan. You have to welcome him, invite him. You have to wash his feet, wash his mouth, wash his hands. Then you have to do the mudras and chant the prayers and offer with so much reverence and give 15-20 minutes time. And then there's a way how the plates are taken out and how the Lord's hands and feet and mouth are washed, how he is again invited back to his seat, etc. But here in Vrindavan, Krishna is sitting and eating with his left hand. And he's putting his hand into the mouth of his friend and pulling a rasgulla out of his mouth and eating. This was too much for Brahma. You know, there's some level of shuchi and muchi that we follow. And the Lord who is param pavitram. Arjuna is saying, param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan. You are the most pure. And what is the most pure Lord doing? Sitting and eating with his left hand. And all the chutneys are dripping between his fingers. And he's licking the chutney and eating the food. And some rice is falling down. He's picking from there and eating. Somebody's eating from his hand. Somebody's eating from his mouth. He's eating from somebody's mouth. Brahma is bewildered. Brahma is saying, I've never used all of my 8 eyes like this. My eyes are looking constantly at who's doing what. And this is Bhagavan. So he said, let me do something. I'll just play a little bit. Then Brahma is thinking, is it correct? What if he's God? He says, no, it's okay. Because he's like a grandchild and I'm like the grandfather. And grandfather can always play with the grandchild. Right? So Brahma with the white beard, he's like a grandfather. And Krishna is like the grandchild. Actually, it's the other way. Brahma is the grandchild. Because Krishna manifests as Vishnu and from Vishnu comes Brahma. So Brahma is the grandchild. But Brahma is thinking, this is the nature of illusion. Everything is ulta. So he thinks, I am the grandfather and he is my grandson, let me play with him. So he kidnaps a few calves and he keeps them in a cave. And then as he keeps them in the cave, it's quite fascinating. Brahma thinks that if the child cries too much, I will give his calves back. Now all the boys of Krishna, they all had different complexions. They all had different hairstyle. They all had different clothes. All had different ornaments, different details, the way they were dressed. He stole some of Krishna's friends, some of Krishna's calves and threw in a cave. Then he thought, let me go back to Brahmalok. I'll relax for some time and come back. Quite interesting. He went to Brahmalok and he was knocking. The doorkeeper opened. Actually, Krishna had manifested into so many forms. As you know, in the Brahma Vimohan Leela, he had become his friends. He had become his calves. He even became Brahma. So Brahma went to Brahmalok and he was knocking. And the doorkeeper came out. And Krishna, as Brahma had told the doorkeeper, nowadays so many people are dressing up like me. So if someone like me comes, just shoo them away. So the actual Brahma comes to Brahmalok. And he's knocking outside his own door. And the servant looks. He says, oh, this is what our master Brahma had warned against. Go away. He said, I am your master. Yeah, I know. Come on. You're dressing like Brahma, even speaking like Brahma. Leave. So Brahma said, now what to do? If you have no place to go, Vrindavan always gives shelter. So he came back to Vrindavan. But what happened? 1 minute there was 1 year here. So when he came back, Brahma saw that Krishna was playing in the same place with all those cows and all those calves and all those friends. Brahma felt, I had stolen all of them. Actually, according to the Leela, Brahma thought he had stolen. Yoga Maya made him feel that he had stolen. Just like Ravana could not kidnap Mother Sita and take Sita away from Ram. Similarly, no Brahma can take Krishna's calves away from Krishna. It's just the illusion of Yoga Maya that put Brahma to Vimohan. So Brahma went back to the cave and there all the calves and all the boys were sleeping. Mahaprabhu is saying this story to Sanatana Goswami. And they were all sleeping. Brahma thought, this boy is very mischievous. When I'm going to the cave, he's bringing everyone there. Then when I go to the banks of the Yamuna, he brings everyone there. So Brahma came back to the banks of the Yamuna and the boys are all sitting and eating there. Brahma said, now let me look one last time into the cave. He went, there all are resting. Just like Brahma had put them. Brahma felt something is wrong. He said, I must simultaneously see. So with 2 heads he was seeing here and with 2 heads he was seeing here to see what's happening. And he saw both places the calves are there. Both places the friends are there. Then he understood something has gone wrong. Came back to Krishna. And as he was looking at Krishna, Krishna was sitting with all his boys, all the calves, and they were all having one bhojan. And as Brahma looked at them, each boy became Vishnu. Sashanka chakram sakirita kundalam Sapita vastram sarashi ruhekshanam sahara vakshasthala shobhi kaustubham namami vishnum shirasa chaturbhujam. Each boy became a Vishnu with 4 hands, with a Kaustubhamani, with a Srivatsa mark. And not just that, each Vishnu had Jaya and Vijay next. Lakshmi Devi, Ananta Shesh. Vishnus manifested from every boy. Every calf was Vishnu. And Krishna sitting in the middle and showing Brahma. Whom are you trying to play with? Mahaprabhu told this story to Sanatana Goswami and said, Sanatan, what is the difference between Brahma Vimohan Leela in Dwarka and Brahma Vimohan Leela in Vrindavan? And Sanatana Goswami said, my Lord, in both places Brahma got bewildered. But the difference is, in Dwarka, Dwarkadish Krishna is so great, but still he could manifest only other Brahmas and other Indras and other demigods. He said, but Brajendra Nandan Krishna is even greater than Dwarkadish because he could manifest Vishnus. There Dwarkadish could associates. But here, Brajendra Nandan Krishna could manifest Vishnus with Lakshmis, with Vaikunthas, with associates and the opulence of Vaikuntha. No demigods were there. Actually, demigods were here taking darshan. In Dwarka, Brahma Vimohan Leela, they were participating. But here, only Vishnu Tattva. That was the bare minimum category. Requirement to enter the Brahma Vimohan Leela in Vrindavan. You have to be a Vishnu. As Mahaprabhu said this, he chanted this very, very beautiful verse to Sanatana Goswami. Krishnera Swarupa Vichar Suno Sanatan. Krishnera Swarupa Vichar Suno Sanatan. Advaya Jnana Tattva Braje Brajendra Nandan. Advaya Jnana Tattva Braje Brajendra Nandan. O Krishnera Swarupa Vichar Shuno Sanatan. Advaya Tattva Braje Brajendra Nandan. Everyone. Krishnera Swarupa Vichar Shuno Sanatan. Advaya Tattva Braje Brajendra Nandan. Can someone read the translation loudly?
O Sanatana, please hear about the eternal form of Lord Krishna. He is the absolute truth, devoid of duality, but present in Vrindavana as the son of Nanda Maharaj.
Mahaprabhu tells Sanatana Goswami, Krishnera Swarup Vichar Shuno Sanatan. Oh Sanatan, please understand. First of all, Krishna is the topmost. That too, Krishna in Vrindavan is the topmost. He says, oh Sanatan, please don't think Krishna in Vrindavan just runs barefoot, playing the flute, running behind cows, jumping branches of trees, wearing gunja berry garlands. Sometimes we may think, oh, Krishna in Dwarka is stronger, right? Because he fights battles and he gives Bhagavad Gita and he shows all his Aishwarya. But Mahaprabhu's conclusion in this section is, Krishna is the topmost, but Krishna in Vrindavan is more higher. And what are the terms Mahaprabhu uses? Purna, Purnatara, Purnatama. He says Krishna in Dwarka is Purna, he's complete. But Krishna in Mathura is Purnatara, more complete. And Krishna in Vrindavan is Purnatama. He is highest in sweetness, highest in opulence, highest in cleverness, highest in all categories. Therefore, O Sanatan, our worshipable Lord is Krishna, and Krishna in Vrindavan, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Is everyone clear with this conclusion? This is the first thing that Mahaprabhu establishes. Now, as Mahaprabhu has got Sanatana Goswami to Vrindavan, Sanatana Goswami in his heart has a question. He's in his heart having this question. We are talking about Krishna in Vrindavan to be very beautiful. We are talking about Krishna in Dwarka to be great, but Krishna in Vrindavan to be greater. Is there any connection between Krishna in Dwarka and Krishna in Vrindavan? That question is coming in the heart of Sanatana Goswami. Is everyone understanding? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he chants this very beautiful verse. Aparikalita purvam kaschamatkara. And there's a very beautiful story that Mahaprabhu shows here in this regard. He says, O Sanatan, this is the final story for today. You will really like this story. It's very beautiful. Rupa Goswami Pad has recorded this in his dramas, and it originates in the conversation between Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami. Mahaprabhu told this story to Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami told the story to Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami wrote it in his Natak, Lalit Madhav and Vidag Madhav Natak. So Mahaprabhu tells Sanatana Goswami. Everyone ready to hear? Yes. One time, please be very attentive. It's a very, very beautiful story. One time, Krishna in Dwarka meets Satyabhama. Whom does he meet? Satyabhama. Satyabhama tells Krishna, I want to talk to you in private. So Krishna says, okay. Krishna and Satyabhama go to a garden. At that time, Satyabhama tells Krishna, this is who Krishna? Which Krishna? Dwarkadish Krishna, in Dwarka. The pastime is happening in Dwarka. Satyabhama tells Krishna, I want to tell you a secret. Krishna said, sure, go for it. Satyabhama looks at Krishna and removes all her makeup and says, I am Radha. I am Radha of Vrindavan, and I have somehow come to Dwarka dressed up as Satyabhama so that nobody catches me. Krishna in Dwarka, he's amazed. He looks at Radharani. He says, hey Radhe, you are here in Dwarka. She says, shh, this is not Dwarka. Krishna said, what is this then? Radharani said, this is New Vrindavan. There is a garden made by Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma is the architect of heaven. Radharani tells Krishna, Vishwakarma, the architect of heaven, has made this whole garden and called it New Vrindavan, Nava Vrindavan. This is where Srila Prabhupada gets the term from and names Radha Vrindavan Chandra as the dham of New Vrindavan in West Virginia. That comes from Rupa Goswami's Natak, Nava Vrindavanam. So Radharani says, this is not Dwarka, this is a garden in Dwarka made just like Vrindavan. It's a replica of Vrindavan. And Krishna is so happy. Krishna says, then where is the forest goddess? Radharani holds the hand of a Sakhi and brings close to Krishna and says, this is Nava Vrinda. In Vrindavan there's Vrinda. This is Nava Vrindavan, so this is Nava Vrinda. This is Vrinda Devi in Dwarka. Krishna looks to the side. Radharani has also got Madhumangal, Krishna's best friend. So the meeting of four associates, Radharani, Krishna in Dwarka, Madhumangal and Vrinda Devi. Quite fascinating, isn't it? In the forest of Nava Vrindavan, New Vrindavan. Radharani says, oh Krishna, let us all sit here and remember our days in Vrindavan. Krishna said, how do we do that? We don't have any Govardhan. Radharani said, of course, our Vishwakarma ji has created Govardhan also. So they go to Govardhan, and inside a cave of Govardhan, what happens? As they enter, the cave is completely dark. Completely dark. So Krishna said, where are all of you taking me? There needs to be some light here. As soon as Krishna desires light, his Kaustuva mani on his chest opens up. Blazing light comes out of the Kaustuva mani on the chest, and the whole cave lights up. And Krishna's fascinated. He looks at Kaustuva, thank you so much. Dear friend, you understood my heart. The Kaustuva mani was like a flash of lightning, and sustained lightning actually. lit up the whole cave. And as Krishna was looking around, Radharani, she took Krishna to the walls of the cave. Madhumangal on one side, Vrindadevi on the other. And what did they see? They saw a painting of this pastime on that wall. Vishwakarma had carved and painted all the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. In the cave of Govardhan, in the Navavrindavan forest in Dwarka. So that when Krishna comes there, he can sit and nostalgically remember his childhood. Have you seen when family sits together and they open up their family album? Everyone sits together and said, "Look at you. You were so chubby. What happened to you now?" You know? And others look, they said, "Oh, those were the days when my grandparents were alive." And they keep the picture to their heart. I said, "I miss my grandmom. I miss my grandfather." And some cry and some laugh. You know? Different pictures. So as Krishna looked at this painting of Damodar Leela, first Srimati Radharani looked and she offered pranam. Because Mother Yashoda is like the mother-in-law for Radharani. And Radharani started speaking, "Oh Krishna, I am remembering how your mother, Mother Yashoda, loves me as much as she loves you. Whenever I go home, she will embrace me and she will kiss me all over my face." Little Radharani. Mother Yashoda, like the mother, will, kiss the face of Srimati Radharani, who's like a little child, and embrace with so much affection, the mother's affection for the child. As Radharani is speaking like this and offering obeisances to the picture, Krishna's weeping. Krishna looks at Madhumangal and said, "I think I was too mischievous in my childhood. I think unnecessarily I broke all these pots and made a mess. And I made my mother run behind me on the day of Diwali. None of my friends have ever done that." And Krishna starts crying, "My mother loves me so much. There's no one who loves me as much as my mother." And Radharani says, "That is so true." At that time, just to change the mood of Krishna, Vrindadevi asks a question. She says, "Wait a minute." Next painting. She says, "Why is it that these two demigods whom you delivered, they flew away, but you were still bound?" Manikarnika and Nalakuver said, "You delivered them and they flew away and you were still bound." "Why?" asked Vrinda. Krishna said, "It is because I was not bound by ropes, I was bound by my mother's love. And no demigod from Brahma up to an ant has the power to open that knot." Then they moved to the next painting. Interestingly, the next painting should have been Kaliya, chronologically. But the Kaliya painting was missing there in that chronology. So Vrindadevi said, "Shouldn't the pastime of Kaliya been here? Maybe Vishwakarma forgot." Krishna said, No, Vishwakarma doesn't forget. If he can carve Vrindavan to the finest details, how will he forget Kaliya? He didn't do this here on purpose, because Radharani is so soft-hearted, seeing the coils of the cobra, she will get scared. Therefore, on purpose, he has skipped Aghasur Leela and Kaliya Leela. Krishna explains. Vrindadevi smiles. Then the next painting are the Brahman Patnis. So Madhumangal is asking, "Hey, wait a minute. This seems like something very familiar." Krishna said, "Don't you remember? This was the day you ate so many jalebis." And Madhumangal says, "Oh yeah, these are the wives of those Brahmanas. And they made these fantastic jalebis. The circles of the jalebis were like the plumes on a peacock feather. They were in circles." And Krishna said, "Yes, eating them, your head also went in circles. You stole even my share." And as they moved to the next painting, it was the painting of Nanda Baba being swallowed by the snake. This was the famous pastime, Ambikavan pastime. So now Krishna is asking this question. Hey, wait a minute. Just now we said all the snake pastimes are omitted. Then why is it that this snake pastime is kept? As he looks around, there's Vrindadevi and there's Madhumangal, but Radharani is missing. So Krishna says, "Hey Radhe, where are you?" And she's hiding because she's scared looking at this pastime. So Krishna said, No, don't worry. You can stand behind me. I am the one who actually delivered Nanda Baba from the snake. And then Radharani is comfortable. Then after that, the next painting that they see. Is everyone understanding? They're seeing the imprints of the painting on the walls of this Govardhan. Then the Govardhan Leela is there. And Krishna looks at Radharani and says, do you remember this Leela? Radharani said, I remember this Leela where Govardhan became the umbrella and your hand became the stick. And all the Brajvasis came underneath. And Madhumangal said, yes. And it was like the umbrella over the head of a king. All the Brajvasis were like kings. And Giriraj was the umbrella. Krishna's hand was the stick. And we were all like kings with an umbrella above our head. And Brinda Devi said, not to forget, the raindrops of Indra, they were all settling on the edge of Govardhan. It was like pearl necklace on that umbrella. And Radharani said, what I remember from this pastime is that in the caves of this Govardhan, I defeated you in a dice game. Krishna said, I don't remember. Then the next painting was the Rasa Leela, where Radharani saw Krishna dancing and playing his flute. As soon as this painting was shown, Radharani started trembling. Hair stood on end. And she held Krishna's arm very tightly. And she said, Krishna, I can hear you play the flute. You're calling me. Krishna's actually there. Just looking at the painting, Radharani went into so much ecstasy. She said, you're calling my name. Brinda Devi held Radharani. Said, calm down. Radharani felt that to be the hand of Jatila. And Radharani said, oh mother-in-law, you can bolt the door of our home and stop me from going. But how can you bolt the door of my life and stop my pran from leaving? You can stop me from leaving, but you can stop my life from leaving. Krishna was thinking, what level of love Radharani is having? Who's speaking this katha? Mahaprabhu. Krishna saw these experiences and became Radha and is now speaking the pastime of Krishna. How beautiful. To her own maid servant Sanatana Goswami. And at this point, Krishna looks at Madhumangal, Brinda Devi and Radharani and says, how sad that all we Brajbasis are sitting in Dwarka and speaking about Vrindavan. My only desire is, I want to run to Vrindavan and never, ever, ever come back to Dwarka again. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells this story for what purpose, dear devotees? He is telling this for only one purpose. He is telling Sanatana Goswami, Vrindavan pastimes of Krishna and Vrindavan Krishna is so attractive, even Krishna in Dwarka, in Nava Vrindavan, is attracted to Braja Leela and Brajendra Nandan Krishna. So first, Mahaprabhu established how Krishna in Vrindavan is more opulent through the Brahma's pastime. Everyone remembers the two Brahma pastimes? In the Dwarka Brahma pastime, what happened? Demigods came. But in the Vrindavan Brahma Vimohan Leela, Vishnu. So first Mahaprabhu established, as far as opulence is concerned, Krishna in Vrindavan is more opulent because he can have Vishnu avatars. And then as far as Madhuri or sweetness is concerned, he said this whole Leela, which Rupa Goswami describes. And Mahaprabhu says that Dwarka Krishna also gets attracted to this beauty of Vrindavan Krishna. Therefore, dear devotees, this is the reference where it comes from in Sanatan pastime, the discussion of Mahaprabhu with Sanatana Goswami. Let's everyone chant. This is almost the last slide. Puna Dwarka te jaiche chitra vilokane. Puna Dwarka te jaiche chitra vilokane. Mahaprabhu is saying that in Dwarka, Dwarkadish Krishna saw the chitra. Chitra means painting. By seeing the paintings in the wall of Nava Vrindavan, Dwarka Krishna got attracted to Vrindavan Krishna. So what is the essence of the first day that Mahaprabhu has taught Sanatana Goswami? What are the 2 points that we learn? As far as opulence is concerned, who is more opulent? Vrindavan Krishna. As far as sweetness is concerned, who is more sweeter? Vrindavan Krishna. Therefore, dear devotees, our Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes, Dushtaman তুমি কিসের বৈষ্ণব। প্রভু সনাতনে পরম যতনে শিখা দিল যাহা চিন্তা সেই সব। ও দুষ্ট মন, ও wicked mind, Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur is saying, to save yourself from material pitfalls, O devotee, Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur says, please contemplate on the instructions that Mahaprabhu gave Sanatana Goswami and kindly gave it to us through Sanatan. Prabhu Sanatane Parama Jatane Shikha Dila Jaha Chinta Sai Sabha. Whatever Mahaprabhu spoke to Sanatana Goswami, every Gaudiya Vaishnava should read these 5 chapters. Saraswati Thakur says, then the mind will stop troubling us. Finally, let's offer obeisances to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has given us such a beautiful, wonderful flow, water flow of nectar through Sanatana Goswami. Vande Nantadbhutaishwaryam Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhum Nichopi Yat Prasadat Syat Bhakti Shastra Pravartakaha. Let me offer my wonderful obeisances unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has unlimited wonderful opulence. By his mercy, even a person born as the lowest of men can spread the signs of devotional service. Srila Sanatana Goswami Pada ki, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. You can use this Prabhuji. सुर लग रहा है कीर्तन के पहले तानपुरा शुरू.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Before we welcome His Grace Amarendra Prabhu and express our gratitude and thank him for visiting us, I want to make one special announcement. This visit of Prabhu is something very special, very unique. Prabhu didn't come alone. So as you all have guessed, so let's welcome Her Grace Swastika Mataji to Seattle for coming first time by loudly chanting Hari Bol and enthusiastically chanting Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! So I would like to request Her Grace Kavita Mani Mataji to please come forward and please offer Prabhupada's garland. So Murli, I asked you to go and get the garland. Mataji, please come forward, Mataji. Wait, he's. Sorry, I told Murli to get the garland in advance, but somehow he was so engrossed in the katha that he couldn't do the job. He was crippled. Yeah. So, sorry for the delay. So there is one more big one is there. Jai Hari Hari. Thank you, Damodar Prasad Prabhu. Thank you, Kavita Mani Mataji. So now let's welcome His Grace Amarendra Prabhu by loudly chanting Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! So this was just the first session of the very, very special session that or seminar that Prabhu is taking, Mahaprabhu's Merciful Moonbeams at Manikarnika. So as you everybody found this very insightful, very, very devotionally inspiring. Hari Bol! So now
half of them didn't even know what the question was.
Prabhu is challenging us. I think we didn't say Hari Bol enthusiastically. Let's give one more try. So now, so when last time when Prabhu left, when he came in October and he left, there was one young devotee. She came to me and said, Prabhuji, today is that Prabhuji coming who will turn off the light and do Kirtan? So that young devotee is none other than Gopika. I don't know where is she. So she has been where is she? So she's been anxiously waiting for your visit.
To switch off the lights.
I think I am personally waiting for that moment to start. So now Prabhu will be here and do Kirtan. But before that, I would like to also express our gratitude and thank Harivilas Maharaj for allowing us to do this late night Kirtan, because I told Maharaj, kids are from the school break. Can we go late? Yes, he said till 11 o'clock. So Prabhu, as long as Prabhu can go, but that's the max limit, doesn't mean that we have to go till 11, but it's up to whenever Prabhu want to end. And before that, so we will be preparing for the Kirtan where Prabhu will do amongst us. So just couple of some rules is that please allow the inner circle for the Prabhu and all the instrument players, and please don't try something if you have not played it or not professionally mastered it, because we don't want to spoil the rhythm. So please reserve the inner circle for the chorus and all the expert players. And by the way, Prabhu, I have to frankly admit, both Mridanga player and light technician are delayed. They are just on the way. But anyway, we will get started. So yeah. So please help me. So please leave the area where Narari Priya Prabhu and Sanjay Anand Krishna Prabhu is sitting. That's where Prabhu will go and sit and start the Kirtan. Okay. Just be quiet just for 1 minute. So we need two. There is 2 job opening. Now when there is in the market, there is no job is available. We need 2 job openings are available. We need 2 Jai Vijayas who can basically guard and close the door. Actually, we don't want the sound to go out of the main hall. So who is volunteering to be the Jai Vijay? Anyone? Okay, Krishna Murli Prabhu and Mataji. Thank you.
Because no float. Get the camera.
कैमरा लगा दिया पास नहीं
रोहित आ रहा है आगे गाड़ी जो है Bro, can you turn on the mics quickly? Prabhu, can you turn on this mic?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಂದ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ we can see ब्रजभाषा भजन के इधर हरिदास महाराज का मंदिर ऐसा ओपन है इधर सब it's amazing. I've never seen any leader. We can put it.
आप बोलो जो बोलेंगे लेकिन मेरे को एडवांस में तो क्या करना है?
There is a song called yeah, is it possible? It's called लाडली अद्भुत नज़ारा तेरे बरसाने. सब गा पाएंगे क्या? हिंदी हिंदी समझ आएगा सबको? गाएंगे बट तेलुगु ज़्यादा महाराज हिंदी गाते बट तेलुगु नहीं ज़्यादा है ना आज
चलेगा लेकिन गा लेंगे बट
आनंद नहीं है.
आई डोंट नो कितना कोरस आएगा करके लेकिन आप
It's a gamble. मी पाते चलते ना कि इतना ठीक है प्रभु जी ब्रजरमन प्रभु रहने दो. रेस्पॉन्स में शायद प्रॉब्लम हो. सब उधर देखेंगे नाचेंगे नहीं. मैं सोचा था थोड़ा स्टार्टिंग में उनको ये गाना बैठ के गवाएंगे फिर नचाएंगे है ना. मैं सोचा स्टार्टिंग में थोड़ा भजन गाएंगे उसके बाद नचाएंगे. स्टार्टिंग में से थोड़ा पर विल एवरीबॉडी बी एबल टू हिंदी समझेगा क्या सबको? पहले एक्सप्लेन करना पड़ेगा मुझे. वो फिर वो कथा में छूट जाएगा. If they are Telugu and they will not understand, then I'll skip. But if they can understand Hindi, है ना? Telugu speakers will be able to understand. Okay.
उसी चलेगा आप ट्राई कर सकते. Hare Krishna. Anyone having a kartal? A big good size kartal? Yeah. आओगे? Gen 1 of Dubai Masters.
Thank you. Sure. Let's get started. थोड़ा बैकअप वोकल मेल फीमेल कोई अच्छा इवन मेल ऑल्सो एक दो मिल जाए बैकअप कोई भी हाँ कोई अच्छा
forward. Let the chorus, all the players come in the front.
Hare Krishna.
ब्रज भजन हो जाए ऊपर. अच्छा. Sure. All of you can sit. You can give one mic and everyone, all of you can sit.
Sa ni sa da da ni pa ma pa da ni re sa re ga ma pa ga ma re ni re sa da ni pa sa. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna. Okay, so we are going to sing a Braj Bhasha Bhajan today. It's a song glorifying Krishna and Srimati Radharani in the holy land of Vrindavan. How many of us understand Hindi? Okay. If I go on to explaining the song, then it'll become a katha, so I don't want to do that. But I just want to give a couple of minutes introduction to this song. There used to be a very great Brajbasi by the name Madan Mohan Brajbasi. Madan Mohan Brajbasi lived in Barsana at Man Mandir, and for 10 years, for 10 decades, for 10 generations, they were Brajbasis. They were born in Vrindavan, one generation after another for 10 generations. And Madan Mohan Brajbasi used to sing this very beautiful song. I think it's going to be pulled up on the... But till then, the name of the song, Ladli Adbhut Nazara Tere Barsane Mein. Ladli Adbhut Nazara Tere Barsane. So this means, O Radharani, O Ladli, अद्भुत नज़ारा तेरे बरसाने में. अब नज़ारा बदलने वाला है. हमारे लाइट टेक्नीशियन जी आ चुके हैं. So, O Radharani, your abode of Barsana is so beautiful that every tree, every creeper, everything is filled with your mercy. This Barsana Dham is filled with devotees, and therefore Krishna naturally lives here. We will start with Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtan, and as it gets pulled up on the screen, we will sing the bhajan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
And this mic can be. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Everyone.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Everyone.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna. Let's start dancing, please. Everyone.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Everyone louder
Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama
Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Deva Bhavantam Vande
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे देव भवन्तं वन्दे देव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे देव भवन्तं वन्दे भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे जय राधे जय जय माधव दयिते जय राधे जय जय माधव दयि जय राधे जय जय माधव दयिते जय राधे माधव ओ जय राधे जय जय माधव दयिते 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 जय राधे जय जय राधे जय जय माधव दयिते कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे देव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे देव भवन्तं वन्दे देव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
ओ हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में, लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में, लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने,
लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने,
लाडली अब मन हमारा तेरे बरसाने में, लाडली अब मन हमारा
तेरे बरसाने,
लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में,
लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने,
बेसहारों को सहारा तेरे बरसाने में,
बेसहारा को सहारा तेरे बरसाने,
बेसहारों को सहारा तेरे बरसाने में,
बेसहारा को सहारा तेरे बरसाने,
लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में। श्री राधे
लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने,
राधे तेरे बरसाने में,
तेरे बरसाने,
राधे तेरे बरसाने में, राधे तेरे बरसाने में। This song is so beautiful, but I still need the lyrics. So can someone kindly... Okay, thank you. So the song says, O Radharani, झाकियां तेरे महल की कर रहे सब देवगण. After you have appeared in Barsana, all the demigods are coming and peeking into the windows of Vrishabhanu Maharaj's palace. Why? आ गया वैकुंठ सारा तेरे बरसाने में. The whole Vaikuntha has come to take darshan of Radharani. Let's go. झाकियां तेरे महल की कर रहे सब देवगण.
झाकियां तेरे महल की कर रहे सब देवगण.
झाकियां तेरे महल की कर रहे सब देवगण. Everyone.
झांकियां तेरे महल की कर रहे सब देवगण.
आ गया वैकुंठ सारा तेरे बरसाने में.
आ गया वैकुंठ द्वारा तेरे बरसाने.
The whole Vaikuntha has come down to take darshan of Radharani in Barsana. आ गया वैकुंठ सारा तेरे बरसाने में.
आ गया वैकुंठ सारा तेरे बरसाने.
What do we have to say now? लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में.
लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में.
लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में.
लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने.
राधे तेरे बरसाने में.
तेरे बरसाने.
राधे तेरे बरसाने में.
तेरे बरसाने.
राधे तेरे बरसाने में.
तेरे बरसाने.
So now Madan Mohan Baba writes, हर लता हर डाल पर तेरी दया की है नजर. O Radharani, every leaf of Vrindavan and Barsana is glanced upon by your lotus eyes, so much so that even Krishna leaves his home and comes here so that you can glance at him. हर लता हर डाल पर राधे तेरी दया की है नजर.
हर लता हर डाल पे तेरी दया की है नजर.
हर लता तेरी दया है नजर.
हर लता हर डाल पे तेरी दया की है नजर.
हर घड़ी यशोमती दुलारा तेरे बरसाने में.
हर घड़ी यशोमती दुलारा तेरे बरसाने.
हर घड़ी यशोमती दुलारा तेरे बरसाने में.
हर घड़ी यशोमती दुलारा तेरे बरसाने.
And now what do we have to say? लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में.
लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में.
लाडली अब नजारा तेरे बरसाने में.
लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने.
राधे तेरे बरसाने में.
तेरे बरसाने.
राधे तेरे बरसाने में.
तेरे बरसाने.
राधे तेरे बरसाने में.
तेरे बरसाने.
राधे तेरे बरसाने.
तेरे बरसाने.
अब कहाँ जाऊं किशोरी तेरे दर को छोड़ कर.
अब कहाँ जाऊं किशोरी तेरे दर को छोड़कर.
Radharani is saying, oh, you're glorifying Barsana, but you're living outside. So therefore the sadhu says, leaving Barsana Dham, I have no other shelter. अब कहाँ जाऊं किशोरी तेरे दर को छोड़ कर. Radharani said, do you promise you will never leave Vrindavan? And the devotee says, just like a person survives on his life air, my life air is Barsana Dham. Ab kahan jaun kishori tere dar ko chhod kar. अब मेरे जीवन का सहारा तेरे बरसाने में. अब मेरे जीवन का सहारा तेरे बरसाने में. कुंड गहवर का किनारा तेरे बरसाने में. कुंड गहवर का किनारा तेरे बरसाने. In Barsana, Gavar 1 and Gavar Kund are very famous. So the sadhu is crying out to Radharani that apart from the banks of Gavar 1 or Gavar Kund, I have no other shelter. कुंड गहवर का किनारा तेरे बरसाने में. कुंड गहवर का किनारा तेरे बरसाने में. अब कहाँ जाऊं किशोरी तेरे घर को छोड़ कर. अब कहाँ जाऊं किशोरी तेरे घर को छोड़ कर. अब कहाँ जाऊं किशोरी तेरे घर को छोड़ कर. अब कहाँ जाऊं किशोरी तेरे घर को छोड़ कर. मेरे जीवन का सहारा तेरे बरसाने में. मेरे जीवन का सहारा तेरे बरसाने में. लाडली नजारा तेरे बरसाने में. लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में. राधे तेरे बरसाने में. राधे तेरे बरसाने में. राधे तेरे बरसाने में. लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में. लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने. राधे तेरे बरसाने. राधे तेरे बरसाने. राधे तेरे बरसाने में. राधे तेरे बरसाने. राधे कृष्णा राधे कृष्णा. राधे कृष्णा राधे कृष्णा. राधे कृष्णा राधे कृष्णा. राधे कृष्णा राधे कृष्णा. Then now Radharani is saying, you're offering so many prayers, but are you qualified? You have so many faults, so many anarthas, so many mistakes. So now the devotee says, मैं भला हूँ या बुरा हूँ पर तुम्हारा हूँ सदा. मैं भला हूँ या Mataji's. मैं भली हूँ या बुरी हूँ पर तुम्हारी हूँ सदा.
मैं भला हूँ या बुरी हूँ, मैं तुम्हारी हूँ सदा.
Everyone together. मैं या बू पर तुम्हारा. Some are saying तुम्हारा, some are saying तुम्हारी. Everyone is confused. अब मैं भला हूँ या बुरा हूँ पर तुम्हारा हूँ सदा. Everyone.
मैं भला हूँ या बुरा हूँ पर तुम्हारा हूँ सदा.
अब मेरे जीवन का किनारा तेरे बरसाने में. अब तो जीवन का किनारा
तेरे बरसाने में.
मेरे जीवन का किनारा तेरे बरसाने.
मेरे जीवन का किनारा तेरे बरसाने में है.
भानु की दुलारी किशोरी कृष्ण की प्राणेश्वरी.
भानु की दुलारी किशोरी कृष्ण प्राणेश्वरी.
भानु की दुलारी किशोरी कृष्ण की प्राणेश्वरी.
भानु की दुलारी किशोरी कृष्ण की प्राणेश्वरी.
बेसहारों को सहारा तेरे बरसाने में.
को सहारा तेरे बरसाने में.
बेसहारों को सहारा तेरे बरसाने.
बेसहारों को सहारा तेरे बरसाने में.
लाडली अद्भुत नजारा 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 तेरे बरसाने.
Everyone with your heart. तेरे बरसाने में.
तेरे बरसाने में.
राधे तेरे बरसाने.
राधे तेरे बरसाने में.
राधे तेरे बरसाने में.
राधे तेरे बरसाने में.
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे.
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे.
हरे राम
हरे राम
हरे राम
हरे राम
राम राम हरे हरे.
राम राम हरे हरे.
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे.
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे.
हरे राम
हरे राम
हरे राम
हरे राम
राम कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
देव भवन्तं वन्दे
देव भवन्तं वन्दे
देव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
मन मानसमधुकरम् अर्पय निजपद पङ्कजमाकरन्दे
मानसमधुकरा
अर्पय निजपद पङ्कजमाकरन्दे मानसमधुकरम् अर्पय निजपद पङ्कजमाकरन्दे मन मानसमधुकरम् अर्पय निजपद पङ्कजमाकरन्दे देव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव 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 भवन्तं वन्दे
देव 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 भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
देव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे
जय राधे जय जय माधव दैते जय
राधे
जय जय माधव दैते जय राधे जय जय माधव दैते
जय राधे जय जय
माधव दैते
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 राधे जय जय 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 माधव दैते
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे everyone
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
राधे तेरे बरसाने में, राधे तेरे बरसाने, राधे तेरे बरसाने में, राधे तेरे बरसाने में, लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में, लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में, लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में,
लाडली अद्भुत नजारा तेरे बरसाने में,
राधे तेरे बरसाने में,
राधे तेरे बरसाने में,
राधे तेरे बरसाने में,
राधे तेरे बरसाने में।
हरे कृष्णा,
हरे कृष्णा,
हरे कृष्णा,
हरे कृष्णा,
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे,
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे,
हरे राम,
हरे राम,
हरे राम,
हरे राम,
राम राम हरे हरे,
राम राम हरे हरे,
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे,
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे,
राम राम हरे हरे,
राम राम हरे हरे।
अंतर मंदिर जागो जागो माधव कृष्ण गोपाल, अंतर मंदिर जागो जागो माधव कृष्ण,
गोपाल,
अंतर मंदिर जागो जागो माधव कृष्ण गोपाल,
अंतर मंदिर जागो जागो माधव कृष्ण गोपाल,
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 माधव कृष्ण, माधव कृष्ण,
माधव कृष्ण, माधव कृष्ण,
माधव कृष्ण, माधव कृष्ण,
माधव कृष्ण, माधव कृष्ण,
माधव कृष्ण गोपाल,
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 माधव कृष्ण गोपाल।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी,
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 गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी,
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी,
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी,
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी,
यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजना,
यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजना,
यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजना,
यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजना,
यमुना तीरवनचारी,
यमुना तीरवरधारी,
यमुना तीरवनचारी,
यमुना तीरवनचारी।
हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा,
Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Jaya Radhe Shri Radhe Radhe Sham 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 Ram Sham 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Holy Land ki Radhe 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 Shri 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 Radhe 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 Radhe
Sham
Deva Bhavantam Vande
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande
Deva Bhavantam Vande
Deva Bhavantam Vande
Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna
Deva Bhavantam Vande
Deva Bhavantam Vande
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande
Radha Nila Madhav Sri Radhe
Radharani Madhav Shri Radhe
Radha Nila Madhav Sri Radhe
Radharani Madhav Shri Radhe
Radha Nila Madhav Sri Radhe
Radharani Madhav Shri Radhe
Radha Nila Madhav Sri Radhe
Radharani Madhav Shri Radhe
Radha Nila Madhav Sri Radhe
Radharani Madhav Shri Radhe
Radha Nila Madhav Sri Radhe
Radharani Madhav Shri Radhe
Radha Nila Madhav Sri Radhe
Radharani Madhav Shri Radhe
Radha Nila Madhav Sri Radhe
Radharani Madhav Shri Radhe
Radha Nila Madhav Sri Radhe
Radharani Madhav Shri Radhe
Radha Nila Madhav Sri Radhe
Radharani नीला माधव श्री राधे
श्री राधा माधव वृंदावन बिहारी ओ श्री राधा माधव वृंदावन बिहारी
श्री राधा माधव वृंदावन बिहारी
राधा रमण हरे गोविंद जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
श्री राधा रमण हरे गोविंद जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल 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 जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय
राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर जुगल किशोर
राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर युगल किशोर
राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर जुगल किशोर
राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर युगल किशोर
जीवन मरण गति आर नहीं मोर
जीवन मरण गति हर नहीं मोर
जीवन मरण गति आर नहीं मोर
जीवन मरण गति हर नहीं मोर
राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर जुगल किशोर एवरीवन
राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर युगल किशोर
राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर जुगल
किशोर
जीवन मरण गति आर नहीं मोर
जीवन मरण गति हर नहीं मोर
जीवन मरण गति आर नहीं मोर
जीवन मरण गति हर नहीं मोर
राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर जुगल किशोर
राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर युगल किशोर
जीवन मरण गति आर नहीं मोर
जीवन मरण गति हर नहीं मोर
जय जय राधा कृष्ण जुगल मिला
जय जय राधा कृष्ण युगल मिलन
जय जय राधा कृष्ण युगल मिला
जय जय राधा कृष्ण युगल मिलन
जय जय राधा कृष्ण युगल मिला
जय जय राधा कृष्ण युगल मिलन
जुगल मिला राधे जुगल मिला
युगल मिलन राधा युगल मिलन
जुगल मिलान कृष्ण जुगल मिला
युगल मिलन जय कृष्ण मिलन
राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर जुगल किशोर
राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर युगल किशोर
राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर जुगल किशोर
राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर युगल किशोर
जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन
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 श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन
श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन
ओ श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन
श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन
जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन
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 जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन
जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन
श्री वृंदावन जय वृंदावन
श्री वृंदावन जय वृंदावन
श्री वृंदावन जय वृंदावन
श्री वृंदावन जय वृंदावन
जय जय श्यामा जय जय श्याम
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 जय जय श्री वृंदावन धाम
जय जय श्री वृंदावन धाम
जय जय श्री वृंदावन धाम
जय जय
Krishna Jai Vrindavan.
Jai Radhe Jai Krishna Jai Vrindavan.
Jai Radhe Jai Krishna Jai Vrindavan.
Jai Radhe Jai Krishna Jai Vrindavan.
Jai Vrindavan Jai Shri Vrindavan.
Jai Vrindavan Jai Shri Vrindavan.
Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Radhe Jai Jai Madhav Daite.
Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhav Daite.
Radhe Jai Jai Madhav Daite.
Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhav Daite.
Radhe Jai Jai Madhav Daite.
Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhav Daite.
Madhav Daite. Madhav Daite.
Madhav Daite. Madhav Daite.
Radhe Shri Radhe Shri Radhe Shri Radhe Shri Radhe Shri Radhe Shri Radhe everyone Radhe Shri Radhe Radhe Shri Radhe Shri Radhe 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Hari Bol,
Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Radharaman, Jai Jai Radharaman,
Radharaman, Jaya Radharaman,
Jai Radha 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 Radharaman.
Radha 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 Radharaman,
जय गोपाल भट्ट प्राण धन राधा रमण.
Gopal Bhatta Pranadhana Radharaman,
जय राधा रमण, जय राधा रमण.
Radharaman, Jaya Radharaman,
जय राधा रमण, जय राधा रमण रे.
Radharaman, Jaya Radharaman,
राधा रमण, जय राधा रमण जय.
Radharaman, Jaya Radharaman,
राधा रमण, जय राधा रमण.
Radharaman, Jaya Radharaman.
ध्यायन्स्तुवं तस्य यशस्त्रिसन्ध्यं वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दं.
Suvam tasya yasanti sandhyam, Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
संसार धावानललिढलोका त्रणाय कारुण्य घन घना त्वं.
Samsaradhavanalalidadoka, Pranayakarunyaganaganartam.
बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हयग्रीव.
Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari, Ramakrishna Hayagriva.
नरसिंह वामन श्री मधुसूदन ब्रजेंद्र नंदन श्याम.
Narasimha Vamana,
पूतन घाटन कैतव शातन. पूतन घाटन,
Kaitapashadana,
पूतन घाटन कैतव शातन.
Kaitapashadana.
जय दशरथि राम,
Jaya Dasarathi Rama,
जय दशरथि राम.
Jaya Dasarathi Rama.
हरिनाम तू अनेक स्वरूप.
Harinama Duva Aneka Swarupa,
हरिनाम तू अनेक स्वरूप.
Harinama Rupa Aneka Swarupa,
हरिनाम तू अनेक स्वरूप.
Harinama Duva Aneka Swarupa.
शरीर विद्या जा जडेंद्रियता है का.
Vidya ja Jodendriyata hai kal.
जीव फल विषय सागरे. There's no prasadam by the way. जीव फल विषय सागरे. बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी. बोलो हरि हरि
Mukunda Murari,
राम कृष्ण हयग्रीव.
Rama Krishna Hayagriva.
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Radha Raman Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Raman Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai
गौरांग बोलिते हवे पुलक शरीरा
गौरंग बोलिते हवे पुलक शरीरा
हरि हरि बोलिते नयने बाबे नीरा
हरि हरि बोलिते नयने हवे नीरा
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद
जय दैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद
जय चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद
साधु संग सर्व शास्त्र को
साधु संग सर्व शास्त्र को
लव मात्र साधु संगे सर्व सिद्धि हो
नाम मंत्र साधु संग सर्व सिद्धि हो
लव मात्र साधु संगे सर्व सिद्धि हो
सर्वत्र साधु संग सर्व सिद्धि हो
साधु संग सर्व शास्त्र को
साधु संग सर्व शास्त्र हो
भज गौरांग कह गौरांग लह गौरांगे नाम रे
भज गौरांग लोह गौरांग कह गौरांगेरो नाम रे
जे जन गौरांग भजे
रंग भजे
से होय नितायर प्राण रे
निताय प्राण
रूप रघुनाथ पदे होइबे आकुति
रघुनाथ पदे होइबे आकुति
कबे हम भुज बोसे जुगल प्रीति
तबे हम
रूप रघुनाथ पदे रहु मोरा
ऊपर रघुनाथ पदे रहो मोरा
प्रार्थना करो सदा नरोत्तम
प्रार्थना करो नरोत्तम दास
बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी बोलो हरि
हरि मुकुंद मुरारी
राम कृष्ण हय ग्रीव
राम कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण
निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर
हरि बोल ते गौर हरि बोल
निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल
ते गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल ते गौर हरि
निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल
हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
हरि बोल ते गौर हरि
निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौरा हरि बोल
ते गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल ते गौर हरि बोल
निताय गौरा हरि बोल
ते गौर
हरि बोल
हरि बोल
हरि बोल गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौर
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल ते गौर हरि बोल
निताय गौरा हरि बोल
नित्य बोल
हरि बोल
हरि बोल
हरि बोल गौरा हरि बोल
ते गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल ते गौर हरि बोल
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय
प्रहलाद लादलाईने
प्रहलाद लाददाई
हिरण्यकशिपूर्वक्षः
यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह
यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह
बहे नरसिंह हृदये
बहे नरसिंह हृदये
बहे नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह
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 नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये
नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये
नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये
नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये
तव करकमलवरे नखाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गम् दलित हिरण्यकशिपो तनुभृङ्गम् केशवधृत नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर
कमलवरे नाखाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गाम् दलितां हिरण्यकशिपो तनुभृङ्गाम्
केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा
जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
निताय गौर हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
निताय गौर हरि बोल
हरि बोल
हरि बोल
हरि
हरि
बोल
बोल गौर हरि बोल
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
गौर हरि बोल
बोलो हरि नाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की
जय हो
परम दयाल प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम शशि नंदन गौर हरि की
जय
अवधूत शिरोमणि नित्यानंद राम की श्री श्री राधा नील माधव की पतित पावन श्रील प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन गुरु वृंद की श्रील गुरुदेव की अनंत कोटि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे श्याम Hare Krishna. That's 10:59, 40 seconds. 20 seconds before time. Big round of applause for our Kartal, Mridanga and backup vocalists. All the Mridanga players, all the Kartal players, all the backup vocalists and everyone around. Haribo! Haribo! Hari, 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 Haribo.
Also, a big round of applause for our lighting man. He really sets the ambience for us. And also, please big round of applause for His Grace Anandaram Prabhu. This time he made sure that sound quality is the perfect. So he made sure that all the mics and everything is finely tuned. So big round of applause for Anandaram Prabhu. Also for Keshav Prabhu. He came all the way from Seattle for playing Mridanga. So again, dear devotees, this is the end of the day one. So we have 2 more days. So I know it's moving very fast. So we have 2 more days, and also Saturday we'll have Sankirtan along with Prabhuji. So I think Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, do you want to make some announcement? You are the Sankirtan leader. Come here.
I thought lifting each other was only during Kirtan. But there's a lot of Leela even after. Who was lifted today, by the way? Nobody was lifted? Sridhar Gopal Prabhu, what's wrong?
So again, let's express our gratitude and thank His Grace Amarendra Prabhu. Today he had a very long day. So I cannot even demand that you can chant loudly now. It's time, as well as you have been already using your vocals for in the chorus. So let's express gratitude by chanting Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! We'll resume sharply at tomorrow 7.
please.